just wanted to announce something that I've been really wanting to do for a long time now, and that is to start a online school of sorts that allows people to get educated on different matters such as philosophy, theology, hermeneutics, systematic theology, to be more specific, and apologetics, science, different things. And um, today I just wanted to bring my ideas out into the public about what I've been wanting to do basically since I started this ministry, and that is start an online school where people can attend for free. I'm thinking, as far as the format's concerned, it would probably just be listening to lectures and reading. At this time, because of it being free and everything, we wouldn't be able to have like professors or things like that. But this idea that I have is just for people who want to learn more about their faith, more about philosophy or other areas, but do not have the means or the reason to pay to go to a seminary to get a degree. Like maybe maybe your dream is to be working in a medical field. Maybe that's where God has called you. But and that being said, since you're going to be working in the medical field, there's not really any reason professionally to get a master's in divinity or a doctorate in theology or anything like that. But maybe you still want to have some of that knowledge that you would obtain by going to seminary. That's the kind of people that this is aimed for. Just people who, number one, don't have the means to go to seminary, and number two, people who just don't want to participate in seminary or pay $400 a credit hour just to get an education. Some people would probably prefer studying on their own. This program is supposed to provide some guidance. We'll have lectures, and I won't be giving all the lectures or anything like that. There will be people there's really people who already volunteered to do this once I started talking about it. I have one gentleman that has a master's in philosophy, and he teaches at Liberty University sometimes, and he's volunteered to give some lectures for the Answers for Hope Academy. And I'm also reaching out to another person that is very knowledgeable in systematic theology. He actually wants to start his own seminary one day, but he may be open to giving some lectures. I'm going to try and reach out to some PhD creationist scientists to see if they want to do anything to help contribute. And this just be something, I want to be completely free. But again, it's not going to be a seminary. We're not going to be granting degrees or certificates or anything like that. This is just going to be an online educational program, so to speak. One thing, though, that I really want to accomplish with this is to produce Christians that don't just parrot what other philosophers or theologians have said, but people who actually have the capacity to understand the issues in and of themselves. This is one thing I really ran into whenever I first started really getting into philosophy, theology, and apologetics. I listened to some William Craig debates. I learned his talking points. I was able to articulate his different arguments. I was able to articulate his some of his defenses for Christianity, such as the problem of evil and things like that. And I was really good at it, and I had used those methods to help lead some people to Christ here locally. But I didn't really have the deep understanding of what William Craig was arguing for, or really the arguments themselves. I just was basically repeating what he said, and that's just not the way to do apologetics. It's not the way to do philosophy or theology, in fact. So one thing I want to do with this program too is encourage intellectual independence whilst being still in submission to the scriptures. And I think that whenever you really get to a point where you're able to not to be able to hear something, but also be able to, like let's say you learn something, you're able to extrapolate it and form more ideas from it. That's really how I started getting to a better understanding of this. Once I started thinking past the talking points, I started meditating on them. I looked through the scriptures and I read on my own accord before I even started in seminary. And that really just helped me develop into someone that isn't just repeating what others are saying, but someone who's actually able to understand and defend and maybe go deeper into the issues than what a lot of the online lectures that I listen to or a lot of the books that I read. I'm able to go deeper into the issues than what the books or videos that I've listened to or read does. And I'm hoping that whenever we start getting this moving, that it will be edifying to the body of Christ. Atheists, of course, will also have access to these things if they want to try and learn more about how Christians think, or they're just curious. They'll be able to listen to the videos or audio, or read the reading material that is assigned, that sort of thing. But in these kind of programs, you're only going to get as much out of it as you put into it. So if you don't really pay attention to the videos, and if you don't really take notes or write summaries of chapters, I mean, even if they're not assigned, anytime you read a book, I recommend taking notes or writing summaries of every chapter you read. That really helps me with retaining the information. If you hear anything in the background, that's my dog. But that's really just a sort of the vision I have right now. I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish this yet. I don't know if I'm going to try and do it off the AnswersForHope.org website. I added a category on the website. If you go to AnswersForHope.org, you'll see it where it says Answers for Hope Academy. But I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the academy on that site. It's going to show up in the article feed and all that stuff. I really don't want to deal with that. So I may have to start a new website independent of AnswersForHope.org. So, where I'm able to do stuff and have it better organized for someone who's trying to get through all the material. If there's anybody who wants to volunteer to help out with lecturing or anything like that, just send me an email at answersforhope@gmail.com, and I will look into it. You don't have to have a degree to give lectures or anything like that. I don't have a degree. I'm working towards one, but I don't have any sort of a degree. I have almost enough credit hours to get a bachelor's, but I have them in the wrong classes. So as long as I am aware that you have solid theology and that you are competent enough in the field you're wanting to speak on to be able to edify the body of believers, that's really the only qualification I'm looking for as far as people to help out. I'm definitely not going to be able to do this by myself. I can't give all the lectures. I'm not knowledgeable enough in every area to be able to speak authoritatively on it. I feel very comfortable in philosophy and theology. I feel comfortable in science, but in science, though, I wouldn't be able to really give a very good lecture or anything really specific. I just have a general knowledge of it. I'm no expert on it. So I'm going to need people with different specializations to lecture on their fields and things like that. There was one other thing I wanted to cover. I'm trying to remember what it is. I sort of did this on the fly. I know as soon as I end this, I'm going to remember. But I'm thinking, though, that I'm probably going to end up doing the website separately. I'm probably going to need more funding for the ministry in order to do that. We take in just enough a month to pay for the upkeep of the AnswersForHope.org website. Fortunately, paying for a domain for a website isn't very expensive. I think it runs like maybe $15 a year. I mean, that's not too bad. But I'm also going to probably have to pay for help with web design and things like that. This is going to be a big project. It's going to take a really long time for me to finish it. And I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to work on it because I'm also a seminary student and my studies have to come before this because once I am done, I'll be in a better position to be able to do this full time, and then I'll be able to do more to help out in the body of Christ. I'm hoping to be able to do this full time by the time I graduate. I have some possible professorship positions that may be open to me once I finish my schooling at Whitfield, but it's probably going to take me at least 10 or 15 years to finish. So, but I am really excited about this. I think that it's going to, be great. I think we're going to have I'm hoping we're going to have a lot of people that are interested in helping out with this. I mean, to have a free online database where you can get a potentially seminary level education without having to pay anything for it. I mean, imagine, we have all these competent people that graduate from seminary already, but if we had other people that were lay people that worked in the hospitals, that worked in the office, who or maybe worked in corrections or something like that. I mean, imagine if we had Christians that had a proficient knowledge of the scriptures and philosophy and science, and able to also answer any question that anybody has. I mean, this is something that could really, I'm hoping, has a big ripple effect. Not only on people's Christian walk, but also on evangelism, and that people will be more confident whenever when they're talking to people who don't believe. So I just cannot express how excited I am about this, but it is going to take some work. It is going to take some money. I know that if it's God's will, God will provide us with the funding to do it. And it's not going to be like a project that's going to cost thousands of dollars or anything like that. It's but having people do web design for logos and stuff like that, it is expensive. I'm going to also figure out if we're going to do YouTube videos or MP3s, or maybe we'll have to do both. I guess we'll just have to do what the lecturers feel most comfortable in dealing with. But I suspect that this is going to take at least several years to finish. But nevertheless, I'm very excited about it. And that's really all about I have to say about this for now. I'm going to have to figure some things out about how I'm going to get this accomplished. And then once I get that figured out, I'll try and put it in motion. So I've asked for everybody's prayers in this, that God will bless this endeavor, and that God will provide so that we're able to do a good job at this. I just really want this to be something that people will find useful. So again, that's about it. Everybody's watched this far. Thanks for watching. God bless.